Hello, I'm Dr. Chelsea McGivney. I'm the General Manager of Caring Pathways. We're an at-home end-of-life national veterinary practice. And I'm joined today by Dr. Keith Tillman. And Keith, why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Sure. I started out in the hospice and palliative care line with my own company, which I started from scratch. It was called Comfort at Home Pet Hospice and Euthanasia. And I was based out of the Charlotte area. And I've had my practice for almost 11 years now. And recently decided to join forces with Caring Pathways.
Amazing. We're so grateful to have you. So, Keith, would you share with us what some of your biggest challenges were in being a solo end-of-life practitioner and running your own practice?
Probably the biggest challenge for me was in feeling that I was spread too thin. On the one hand, I was the veterinarian doing what I love and find so meaningful, which is providing this wonderful end-of-life care for families in their homes. And that's what really drove me to start in this calling, was that feeling of connection. And the other part of being a solo practitioner was having to also be the business owner and all of the tasks that roll into that, where quickly that can become overwhelming as far as having two full-time jobs at the same time. And it did feel like I was stretched a little thin trying to cover all those bases.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So after being that solo end-of-life practitioner for over 10 years, what made you decide to join an end-of-life practice and step away from being the solo owner?
I happened to meet up with several wonderful veterinarians at the Fetch conference in Charlotte from Caring Pathways. And just in that conversation with them, just felt that connection and that family experience of they get what this is about. It's all about the experience and providing that wonderful care that people just really crave for their pets at their end of life. And finding out that the team approach that Caring Pathways offers through covering the bases of scheduling appointments, grief counseling and grief support, management, client care staff, all of those supporting things that as a solo I was stretching myself to try and cover, there's such value, and it just made sense that this was a way that I could work with a group of people who had the same value and respect for our passion, but also recognize the meaningfulness of having work-life balance as well for us as caring veterinarians.
Thank you for that. It's been wonderful having you as a part of our team. And since you've joined the Caring Pathways team, is there anything else about Caring Pathways itself that stands out to you as compared to other practices that focus on end-of-life care? Anything that you might want to share about what you feel makes Caring Pathways special?
I think it's the connection. We work in our mobile practices pretty much by ourselves a lot of the time in our daily interactions with a family in grief. And just to have a connection of our work family that we can check in with every morning and say good morning. And we are heavy on communicating through Slack. So we're shouting out to all of the team, hey, I'm on board today. Hope you have a good one. And the other thing that's kind of interesting, and this one, Dr. Tyler Carmack really stressed recently, was let's do the same thing at night. Let's be sure everybody made it safe home. And just to have that care for each other was something that kind of took me by surprise, and something that was, I think you don't find that very often or in very many places. So I really appreciate that.
Great, Keith. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us about your journey from transitioning to being a solo end-of-life practitioner into integrating into an end-of-life care team like Caring Pathways. Like I said before, we're so grateful to have you as part of this team. Thank you so much.